The time is 6:13, and the May 25th, 2023 special meeting of the Vernon Hills Board of Park Commissioners is called to order. Would those present please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Geraldo. Commissioner Jacobs. Commissioner Robbins. Commissioner Senti.
Here.
President Dorhofer.
At this time, the board will hear remarks from the public. Remarks will be limited to 3 minutes, and no board response will be given. Are there any remarks to be heard? Looks like there aren't, so we'll move along. The Budget and Appropriation Ordinance hearing for fiscal year 2023-2024 is now open. In accordance with Illinois state law, the Budget and Appropriation Ordinance has been made conveniently available for 30 days prior to this budget hearing. Notice of this public hearing was published in a newspaper of general circulation, the Lake County News Sun, on May 2nd, 2023. The combined annual budget and appropriation ordinance appropriates the monies that are necessary to cover the projected expenses and liability the district may occur in its next budget year, June 1st, 2023 through May 31st, 2024. The ordinance must be passed and approved within or before the first quarter of the fiscal year. Is there anyone who would like to come forward with any comments or questions for the board concerning the proposed fiscal year 2023-2024 budget and appropriation ordinance? It appears that there is not. So there being no comments or questions for the board, the budget and appropriation hearing is now closed. Having addressed all items on the agenda, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Second. Can I have a roll call?
Commissioner Geraldo.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes. The time is 6:15 and the special meeting is now adjourned. Okay, ready to keep going? The time is 6:15 and the May 25th, 2023 annual meeting of the Vernon Hills Board of Park Commissioners is called to order. Would those present please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for
For all.
May I have a roll call?
Commissioner Geraldo.
Here.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Here.
Commissioner Senti.
Here.
Commissioner Robbins.
Here.
President Dorhofer.
Items under the omnibus vote agenda are considered routine and/or non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. If a separate vote on any one item is desired, it will be pulled from the omnibus vote agenda and voted on separately. Omnibus vote agenda items are minutes of the regular board meeting dated April 27th, 2023, and payables and payroll through May 25th, 2023, in the amount of $729,889.16. May I have a motion to approve the omnibus vote agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Commissioner Geraldo.
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes. At this time, the board will hear remarks from the public. Remarks will be limited to 3 minutes and no board response will be given. Are there any remarks to be heard? Still not. Superintendent Mitchell, are there any changes to the financial reports on file for the period ending April 30th, 2023? No, okay. At this time, the board will hear staff reports, starting with Finance and HR Superintendent Jessica Mitchell.
In April, the district did not receive any additional property tax revenue of the 2021 tax levy. Therefore, 99.7% of the 2021 tax levy was received in total. The district did just receive our first 2022 tax levy payment on May 24th for $215,600, which will be journal entered into the fiscal '24 year after June 1st. The Lake County Clerk's Office provided the sealed statement showing assessed valuation of all property assessed and equalized by the State Department of Revenue for the 2022 tax rate and extension for each fund. This May, the EAV increased by $41 million. May 2023 EAV was $1,308,843,000 compared to May 2022's EAV at $1,267,747,000. As of April 30th, the district has $6,968,000 in cash and investments. $4,107,000 is invested in 26 certificates of deposit with various maturing dates over the next 60 months, and $2,860,000 is available for cash flow purposes. In early April, the district invested $1,148,000 in 5 12-month CDs with rates of 5.35%, 5%, 4.95%, 4.9%, and 4.5%. In early May, the district invested $350,000 in 3 CDs of 12 months or less at 4.9%, 5.05%, and 5.15%. As existing CDs mature and 2022 property tax revenue is received, more investment opportunities will be reviewed. In April, capital expenditures were $1,121,000. The Turtle Creek Spray Ground feature expenses were at $186,000. Lakeview Fitness renovation expenses were at $814,000. $56,000 was spent on a 2022 Ford 350. $25,000 on a ball field groomer, $36,000 on new park maintenance facility mower, and $3,000 for several miscellaneous items. We did review the fiscal 2023 year-end projections, and when doing so, corporate recreation, special recreation, Lakeview Fitness, and aquatic funds were separated out from the bond and capital funds in order to show the best operating projections. This is due to the major variables of the unbudgeted $5 million bond closing in April and outstanding park grant reimbursement anticipated to be received in fiscal year 2023 for Lakeview Fitness construction that has yet to be received. So to show the best operating projections, the Corp, Rec, Special Rec, Lakeview, and aquatic funds are projected together again to result in a $600,000 to $700,000 surplus. If the park grant monies are received before May 31st, the capital and bond fund will produce a surplus of roughly $2,100,000. Combining all funds together, we could see a surplus of $2,700,000 to $2,800,000. Again, that's a projection with just 1 month to go. A lot of rec programs did better than anticipated compared to our budget for fiscal '23, as well as Lakeview's performance. Their overall was quite strong with a profitable projected year end. So I'd like to say kudos to staff who have played a role in those outcomes. Last week, the district received $117,000 of village impact fees, so happy to report that. The Budget and Appropriation Ordinance 623 will be up for adoption. The required documentation and public notice was shared in the Lake County News Sun and available at the Sullivan Community Center and on our Park District website. The district is beginning to prepare for the district's audit. Representatives from Lauterbach and Amen provided the entrance conference documentation to begin the process. Our preliminary fieldwork meeting date is to take place on June 14th here at the Sullivan Center. The district did not acquire any unemployment fees for the first quarter of 2023. For human resources, our full-time staff are participating in a DISC analysis exercise over the course of the current year. We will conduct a workshop provided by human resources within each department, assisting staff with exercises on how to best utilize those findings. Once all departments complete the process, a full-time staff meeting combining all departments will follow likely and probably January 2024. These meetings are intended to further implement findings of how different coworkers handle challenges, how they work best with one another, and give and receive communication most effectively. The overall purpose is to build relationships, improve communication strategies, and build a strong organizational retention. And then one last thing that was not in my report, the DEI committee is excited that the traveling "You Are Welcome Here" banner was delivered today. You may have seen it when you walked in the building. This banner includes the message "You Are Welcome Here" listed in the top 10 languages that are spoken in Vernon Hills. The banner is meant to travel to different district locations and our events to spread the message. In the top 10 spoken languages, if you're curious, we have Hindi, Spanish, Polish, Romanian, Korean, Arabic, Tagalog, Telugu, Urdu, and Chinese. And that concludes my report unless there's any questions.
Yes.
Got a question and a comment. What's great is those 8 CDs that we bought in April are going to generate close to $75,000 in interest income. So that's great. I do have a question. I know we collect most of our tax revenues, which is wonderful. The small amounts that we don't collect, do we follow up? Is it the Lake County collector that follows up with the people that haven't remitted all their monies? How does
We
it-
do not directly. Everything goes through the Lake County Clerk's office. So it would, they provide any type of updates that we get, and I don't believe that we would be seeing those funds. I don't.
So do we update them with the monies that we haven't received, or this is something they follow up on?
The people within the community?
Yeah, that haven't paid 100% of their real estate taxes.
We do not. The district does not.
Okay.
They definitely send notices and follow up, but I don't know that we get that. So, thank you. Any other questions for Jessica? All right, with that, thank you, Jessica. Next up is Marketing and Communications Manager, Cheryl Buman.
Good evening. Staff is currently working on our fall program guide. This will be our first guide that we're going to utilize more QR codes. Our large-scale programs, some of our larger sports programs and our, I was going to say swim, not swim program anymore. Some of our other programs, we're going to have a description of what the program entails, like karate. But then the QR code will lead people right to registration where they can see all the class levels. By lessening the pages, we're going to lower the printing costs and also the postage costs. So we're looking for a favorable, we believe it'll be very favorable with the community, as many other districts are going towards this practice. There's been quite a few emails going out, community emails about lots going on here. We've had the job fair, the community survey. Just in the past few days since I wrote this report, we had a last push for our summer dance program. So if anyone is interested in our summer dance, it will be beginning in early June. So they're filling up all of the enrollment for that. We've had also we have a email just dedicated now because Lakeview is growing just to fitness events, the fitness programs that the whole community can enjoy whether you're a member or not. So that just went out also. And then also, not a last push, but another push for our June programs, and also letting people know that our aquatic center is opening very soon. So that's all been out. People are very informed what's going on at the Park District. Our community survey. So our survey went out last week. It went out by Constant Contact, which is our subscriber email. It went out through social media. The village also shared it on their listserv. We have posters out in our parks, Deer Path Park right now, and a postcard actually was mailed today through a service to every household that lives in zip code 60061. That has a QR code, and the survey's in Spanish and English, whatever people prefer. So as of today, just through our subscriber list, we've had 578 people click on the survey. That's just through email marketing, not counting all of the other areas. Excuse me, we also are going to have it, or it might be there, I didn't check before this meeting, on the machines over at Lakeview Fitness. There's they have like little TV screens by some of the machines, and it was going to be there too. So we will just continue to update you on, or Jared will update you on how the survey's going. In front of you have our Family Aquatic Summer Guide. We have handed that out to our preschool kids, our childhood kids. It will be going out to camp kids. Camp will be starting quite soon here, and it's also in our facilities. And that just lists all of the programs that are going on at the Aquatic Center all summer long. We just sent to print today, so this will be out before our next board meeting. Cassidy has created a cute little Sully Summer Fun booklet. She's done it the past couple of years. And it really just, it's an 8-page, 8.5 by 5 booklet, and it focuses on our parks and all the fun things you can do in our parks. And just the kids like to have it and do their drawings. So that's coming out soon. Just went live yesterday, last night. We are doing a Groupon for the Family Aquatic Center. We have done this the past few years. This year's deal is 50% off either 2 non-residents or 50% off 3 non-residents. Those are the 2 choices. People can do it. You can only choose, the Groupons are only good per 1 emails, and Groupon takes care of that. So someone with the same email cannot purchase 6 of something. It gets rejected. So I can see that throughout the year. So this will be live today through the end of season. And at any time, if we wanted to stop it, we could. But it has brought in revenue over the past few years, and so it was decided to try it again this year. We have more kiosks coming to, outdoor kiosks coming to our parks. One will be over at the Family Aquatic Center, replacing, there's kind of like a old, I don't know, case by the front door. So a nice outdoor kiosk that will hold a poster that will be updated with all the events going on, mostly at the pool. And then we'll have 2 more at Century Park South coming in the next couple of weeks. Our website. So we've had an increase of 942 users over the past month. So we have a total of a little bit over 12,000. And over social media, we gained 117 more followers over the past month, and that's a total of 9,925. And you guys can see the rest. If there's any other questions, I'll stop there.
Any questions? No, I'm excited that we already have 578 surveys, but I know that as this being one of the most important ways that we gather input every 5 years, we really want to encourage the public to keep going, and every reply means a lot. So I think we're trying
believe
to
we might actually
probably
even
get
have
5
more.
times that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's
before
just
it's
through the
done.
constant contact where I can see the
Okay.
reporting, but it's on our website, and the village has shared it. So I think Jared would be the best person to let us know really what the totals are.
And really nice job on that.
I don't know,
Thanks.
thank you.
Okay. Up next, Park Superintendent James Kim.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Some general park announcements. Park staff are actively spot spraying for weeds in our turf and other non-turf areas, like parking lots and playgrounds. Spot spraying meaning not small areas, not huge acres or entire parks at a time. We are trying a more organic, non-synthetic approach to turf care. We've been doing it for about 2 or 3 years over at Century Park South, where the beer tasting was, and then right outside of Sullivan Center, where the kids are. Cost is about 10 times as much, and so we're just trying to see how effective it is before we decide if we want to try this at other areas. Fishing is allowed at our bodies of water, as long as you have an IDNR fishing license for those that are 16 and over. Although we do stock Little Bear, Big Bear lakes, we ask that anglers respect our catch and release regulation. Something that's not in my general park announcements on my report is schools are letting out soon, so if parents could please talk to their kids about being respectful to public places, that would be appreciated. Some project updates. Grosse Pointe Playground renovation is full underway. I just want to thank kids around the world for taking the playground and reusing it in another country. We do not know where it's going. They have a warehouse that they rebuild, same manufacturers, to help piecemeal a large playground. We're trying to get the playground scheduled to be open by June 8th. Right now, we're looking, that's right on schedule. Some asphalt projects will start soon. Century Park will have many path repairs starting June 8th and 9th. There are 7 specific areas that have been marked for repairs with yellow paint. In addition, we've contracted some crack filling services for our park paths at Deer Path, Hawthorne Melody, Sullivan Woods and Peterson Park. Part of the board report, or part of the board packet, there's also an ADA transition plan. This is part of that line items for the assessments that were conducted by Williams. The short path leading to, at Donnelly Park leading to the high school, is just being seal cracked and crack filled and seal coated. Currently out to bid is an asphalt resurfacing for 2 of the 4 parking lots at Century Park, the Indian Wood lot and the Cricket Pitch lot, which we're gonna call Lakeview lot for right now in the bid. We also have Lakeview Center's parking lot, both front and back, as part of the bid. Bid award will be presented at the June board meeting. We're looking to commence the work mid to late September to give contractors a heads up and we get some better pricing. Trying to compete with schools right now is very difficult. Some bridge maintenance. We're just going to work with the Village of Vernon Hills Public Works as a joint to replace the wooden planks over at the bridge leading to the Arbor Theater from the Kids Castle Playground. We're trying to get this work for one-day shutdown because it is a very highly used bridge between the high school, which is going to be out, but there's still activities going on, people who just walk back and forth. So that's why we reached out to the Public Works Department to help us out and just make it one day. We will announce it well in advance through the village and our own efforts. Sullivan Woods, plan to have a presentation at the June Park Board meeting on our ongoing work at Sullivan Woods. Lakeview construction updates. Staff are in the planning stages for installing landscape around the new areas. Along with that, Gowalt Hamilton is working with Lake County Stormwater to close out our silver permits. The final inspection with the village went well. The hot tub did pass inspection with IDPH and has been opened. And that concludes my report. If there's any questions.
Any questions for James? Thank you very much. And now Executive Director Jeff Hoosier.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to just, both Lacey and Tom couldn't make this evening with just family commitments, and so just a couple highlights I wanted to share with the board, starting with Lakeview Fitness. You see in your packet that our visits are up considerably when you do a comparison to last year at this time. And then our memberships are, good evening, Mr. President. And our memberships are continuing to climb. Now, this is a period as you get into the summer that we usually start to see some people put their memberships on hold, which we permit for a small fee. And then they usually get back into us, when we get into the fall months. In there too, we just want to remind that we went to 30-minute reservations instead of 60-minute reservations with our lap swimming because we've had a lot of requests for use of the aquatic facility. So that's been great. The new outdoor fitness patio was installed a few weeks ago. We've got a number of classes that we've already scheduled to get those going, and you see those in your packet as well. Things are being well received from our users. I don't know if any of you have had a chance to work out on it. It's nice, just even people during the day when there's not a class, to just grab a floor mat and sit outside and stretch if you'd like, or just do some small stretching kind of out on the patio when it's nice weather. It's really a really nice environment. And then when Parks gets the landscaping all done in and around that area, I think it'll really look nice. And then from Tom Ritter's report, I think I've shared with you a little bit in our update that we contracted with this British swim school. So their program starts, if it hasn't started already, we started making some calls this week to people that are in our existing program that we're going to envelope over and carry over into this particular program. we're confident that this is a very nationally recognized instructional program. It is a little bit more money than our standard, but in terms of the quality of instructors that they bring in, we're excited about. And the opportunity, I think, is really, really positive for us. So we'll see how things go. There's a lot of benefits to our residents, where they typically charge an initiation fee that's waived for our citizens, and then there's a discount for our citizens as well, because kids can come from all over the area. So we're happy to see that going. Our Family Aquatic Center opens on Saturday, June 3rd. So for those of you who are watching at home, if you haven't bought your summer seasonal pass, please do so. Our Kids Fishing Day is scheduled for the same day, Saturday, June 3rd. That's out at Century Park. We want to thank the Libertyville Fishing Club in advance. They help us out. That fishing day starts at 9 a.m. and goes till noontime. I want to speak right out of the gate with just the vandalism that's been occurring in our parks and some of our facilities. More than just recently, but we've addressed this over the last year in terms of grave concern for our community, and especially our park staff that are having to maintain just eliminating a lot of what we feel is very racist and anti-Semitic language that's being graffitied on some of our buildings and some of our playgrounds. And it's simply ridiculous that we have to see this kind of action and activity occur in our community. We're working very closely with the police department. We communicate with them regularly. We're going to continue to ramp up our efforts on surveillance within and around some of our prominent parks and some of our facilities, outdoor facilities. But more importantly, we want the public to just know that if they see something, just call 911. You can remain anonymous if you so desire, but if you see something quickly like that, I think the sooner that we can get on it and get some of our police officers out there to potentially catch these offenders, that would be a great thing. So we're going to be doing some social media pushes on this, just mostly to notify our citizens about what's been happening. And hopefully, that generates just some conversation in their neighbors that they can, if they hear something, even to just to bring that forward. A lot of things on your agenda tonight: capital improvement plan. We've got the appointment of board officers and appointments of some of our other liaison positions. Cheryl touched a little bit on the community survey. I'll have an update tomorrow from Jared in terms of the total, because a lot of the things that she can keep track of through our constant contact, there's a lot of other vehicles out there where we're spreading the word on this survey, and it all goes through this Qualtrics system that is being monitored by Jared and his team. And so I fully expect to have a conversation tomorrow that will probably be, we may be in the 600-700. I'm pretty confident on that in terms of responses. You also have a proclamation before you tonight on Pride Month. We have a resolution on the Local Government Efficiency Act. There's an IPRA environmental report card before you, and then our administrative policy manual. So a number of items that are on the docket for your attention tonight. That's all I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? I just wanted to comment that I am glad you talked about the vandalism. I know we all feel this way, but to have to deal with the vandalism is bad enough, but some of the things that are being written are just so vile and disgusting that it just want to echo from all of us. It's unacceptable, and we want to find out who would do such a thing, and we're hoping that people will help us do that, and we can put an end to that. Just wanted to say that. Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, thank you.
What's the? That works for me.
Okay. There are no commissioner committee reports or communications to be heard. There's also no board correspondence tonight, and there is no unfinished business. So we will move forward with the first item of new business, and that is the 2023-2024 board officer election. Secretary Fougeroux, can you let us know if there were?
So at this point, the first item of business would be for the board president seat. So at this time, I would ask for any nominations from the board for the office of Park Board President.
I'd like, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'd like to nominate President Dorhoeffer for that position.
Okay, are there any other nominations from the dais? Hearing none, you have a motion from Vice President Sente. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jacobs. Would you take roll, please?
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
Commissioner Senti,
Yes,
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Geraldo,
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer.
Yes, and thank you.
Okay, the next office would be for Park Board Vice President. Are there any nominations from the board for that seat?
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Carol Sante for this position.
Are there any other nominations for Vice President? Hearing none, can we get a second?
Second.
Second by President Dorhoeffer. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
Commissioner Senti,
yes,
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Geraldo,
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer.
Yes.
Okay, the next really can be turned over to you, Carol, to handle.
okay, thank you. The next item of new business is the 2023-2024 board officer appointments. May I have a motion to appoint Executive Director Fougeroux as the board secretary, Superintendent Jessica Mitchell as the board treasurer, and Tressler LP as the board attorney?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Geraldo,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer.
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes. The next item of new business is the 2023-2024 board member liaison appointments. Appoint Commissioner Jacobs, we would like to, as the Hawthorne School District 73 liaison. We would like to appoint myself and President Dorhoeffer as the Village of Vernon Hills liaisons. Do we need a roll call for that?
Nope.
Okay. The next item of new business is the 2023-2024 board member committee appointments. We will be appointing Commissioner Geraldo to the Park Advisory Committee, appointing Commissioner Robbins to lead the Audit Committee, and appointing myself to lead the Board Development Committee. And no roll call for that. The next item of new business is the May 2023 District Administrative Manual. Is that correct? 2023. We have a motion to approve the May 2023 District Administrative Manual.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Jeff, I just wanted to ask, or the comments that I had offered added in?
They're edited and included in the update, yes. And Commissioner Geraldo also had some suggestions, mostly questions that I answered as well.
Great, okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Geraldo.
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer.
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes. The next item of new business is a district proclamation recognizing Pride Month. And I'd like to read the proclamation now. Whereas the Vernon Hills Park District is a welcoming and inclusive community that recognizes equality for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer or questioning LGBTQ+ community, and whereas all patrons of the Vernon Hills Park District deserve a safe place to recreate where they are welcomed, accepted, and supported by family, friends, and neighbors, and whereas the Vernon Hills Park District celebrates diversity within our community, recognizing that each individual's unique contribution makes our community stronger, and whereas the Vernon Hills Park District accepts and respects its residents regardless of sexual orientation and gender identity, and whereas the Vernon Hills Park District believes all residents deserve to feel valued, safe, empowered, and supported by their neighbors and community leaders, and whereas June is annually celebrated as Pride Month to commemorate the Stonewall Uprising in 1969, considered the catalyst of the modern LGBTQ+ rights movement. Now therefore be it resolved by the President and the Park Board of Commissioners of the Vernon Hills Park District that June is hereby proclaimed and shall henceforth be recognized annually as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer or questioning Pride Month at the Vernon Hills Park District. Be it further resolved that it is encouraged that all members of the Vernon Hills community eliminate prejudice wherever it exists by accepting all residents as equal and by honoring our great diversity through celebrating our LGBTQ+ friends and neighbors, proclaimed this 25th day of May, 2023. Okay. The next item of new business is the 2023-2027 District Capital Improvement Plan. May I have a motion to approve the 2023-2027 Capital Improvement Plan?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Robbins?
Oh, sorry, is there any
Question.
discussion?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have just a couple of questions and comments. We have, for the equipment purchases over the 5 years, it's totaling around $675,000. And I'm just wondering, does it make sense for us to rent instead of buy?
To lease equipment, we have to have a minimum 10 trucks in the lease agreement for 5 years. I've looked into it. It would make sense, but we would have to pay it. It can't be paid out of capital either. It'd have to be out of operating. So yes, over a long term, we would benefit slightly, but the leasing fees would, yes. It would be beneficial long term, but the minimum number, we don't fit in that category. We're not that big of a district. They don't lease out dump trucks, and they don't lease out the bucket truck either, so we have to be,
They get abused. They get abused and
yeah, those are the ones that get abused the most. Our 350 and 250 trucks would make sense, but again, it's a minimum 10. And yeah, it would kill our operating budget.
I see. Okay, thank you. Okay, I think that's all I had on that.
Anyone else? May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Geraldo?
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer?
yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes. The next item of new business is ordinance 0623, an ordinance making a combined annual budget and appropriation of funds for the Vernon Hills Park District for the fiscal year beginning June 1st, 2023, and ending May 31st, 2024. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 0623?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Geraldo?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer?
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes. The next item of new business is Resolution 0323, a resolution forming a committee on local government efficiency. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 0323?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Geraldo?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs? Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer?
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes. The final item of new business is the 2023 IPRA Environmental Report Card. May I have a motion to approve the 2023 IPRA Environmental Report Card?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins? Commissioner Geraldo?
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer? Vice President Senti.
Yes. Next is commissioner comments. I guess I'm first on the list, so thanks for nominating me for vice president. It's an honor. And sorry I missed the craft beer this weekend, but I'm glad it was outside. I was sick. I didn't want to get anyone sick, but glad that we had such a nice turnout. Commissioner Robbins, do you have anything?
And nothing this evening.
Okay. Commissioner Geraldo?
Nothing on my end.
Commissioner Jacobs? It says yourself. And President Dorhoeffer.
Yeah, first of all, I apologize for being late. I was running late and then my car wouldn't start, absolutely dead. So I apologize. Secondly, thank you for putting your trust in me for the president for another year. And thirdly, to staff, thank you for Craft Beer Fest. That was awesome. A really nice turnout. So thank you all.
We're glad you're here and another year. So having addressed all the items on the agenda, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Geraldo?
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer?
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes, the time is 6:54 and the annual meeting is now adjourned. To do this?
Monthly meeting.